Hi there, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Mufaro, and if you're new, warm welcome. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. If you're new, it is free to subscribe. As you would have seen by the title of this video, I will be talking about how I finally lost weight after years and years of non-stop weight gain. Like, there was a time where whenever I get onto the scale, because I don't weigh myself a lot, I don't really believe in that, but whenever I would step on the scale, I would realize that I've gained 3 to 5 more pounds, which in South Africa we use kgs. So every time I've gained maybe 4 kilograms. I remember in 2021 I used to weigh around 72 kilograms, which was a little more than the 68, 67 I was used to. And I was like, okay, I've gained a little bit of weight. But then in 2022 I was 74 kgs. I'm like, okay, this is a lot more weight gain. I remember weighing myself, and then I was 78 at some point. And then the scariest part was last year in September when I was like 80 kgs / 81 kgs, which is over 160 pounds. So I was not happy with that weight, and I feel like even if you are, I was still like maybe a size 12, size 10, you feel like your clothes don't really sit well. You kind of squeezing yourself into your clothes, you feel a bit uncomfortable. But the good news is, when I recently, on my last weigh-in, because I don't always weigh myself, so I can't say how much I weigh right now, but on my last weigh-in, which was about 6 weeks ago, I was weighing 76 kgs, down from the 81 kgs. And I was so happy to see those results, because I have been actively doing things, making lifestyle changes in order to see some weight loss results. So I'll be talking about the things that I did that actually worked for me to actually start seeing that scale go down. Before I head straight into tip number one, I would say the biggest change I have made when it comes to my lifestyle is around my diet. I have completely changed what I eat, how much I eat, how often I eat it, portions, etc, etc. So as people, I feel like we all have our weaknesses. My weaknesses is I have quite the sweet tooth. I love sweet things, etc, etc. And another thing that I want to touch on, hoping I'm not like offending anyone, but I feel like as people of color, when it comes to carbs, we have no control. Or our carb intake is really, really high, especially refined carbohydrates, your white rice, your white bread, etc, etc. Tip number one, I really have to stress tip number one, it is cut down on carbohydrates. So I cut down on carbs significantly, and I don't recommend going cold turkey. However, I have sort of had to be very strict with myself. I don't eat rice often. I don't eat pap at all. If I eat pap, maybe it's 2 to 3 times a year. I don't eat pasta. If I do, maybe once in every 2 months. I don't eat I think those are the biggest: pap, rice, pasta, and bread. Oh yes, I don't eat bread. And you ask yourself, but how do you achieve this? That will lead me into tip number two. But cutting down on carbs is very, very important. So tip number two, how do we cut down the carbs, and what do I actually then have to eat if I don't eat rice, pap, pasta, and bread? So that leads me to tip number two. What I normally do is that when I go shopping, I buy sweet potato. So I love sweet potato, guys. I live on sweet potato. My door keeps opening. So tip number two, if not carbs, what do I eat? Right. Tip number two is, please increase your plant-based food intake. So a lot of the times when it comes to our diet, what you eat sort of influences how your body gains weight, how much fat it's storing, how easy is it to burn what you have eaten, and also, like, because I feel like, I'm not an expert, so I have to give that disclaimer. Your refined carbohydrates, your white rice, white bread, pasta, they kind of cause inflammation in the body, and I feel like inflammation in the body means that a whole lot of other things are gonna go wrong. Hormones are gonna be out of balance. Your gut might be really unhappy, hence, you know, the gluten intolerance, and then you keep forcing yourself to eat white rice, white bread, blah blah blah. And all those things going wrong in your body can actually make it very easy for your body to be in a phase where it will just gain and gain and gain non-stop. So I live on broccoli and sweet potato. Those are my staples when it comes to my diet. Obviously, I don't just eat sweet potato and broccoli. I will include butternut, gem squash, chickpeas, salads, making sure that I'm eating a lot of greens. You know, I imagine that like eating green foods really just detoxifies the body, slows down inflammation, you know, puts your body in a position to actually burn fat, drinking a lot of water. So all my tips are really around diet. I'll insert pictures of some of the meals I make. So like if I'm having sweet potato, I'll usually sometimes just put it in the oven because it's easier, it's faster, and then or I can boil it and put just a little bit of butter, a little bit of salt. I don't add sugar to it. It's really not necessary because sweet potato naturally is sweet. And then I'll have that with some steamed broccoli and carrots, and then I'll have like lean meat. So if it's not chicken breast, then maybe it's usually it's even normal chicken portions. It doesn't always have to be chicken breast, as long as you are making sure that you buy like, you know, lean meats, like some chickens, I don't know, like as long as you make sure you're not buying those chickens that they inject or they give them hormones. Like, so I try, not always, I try and have free range chicken, which doesn't always have a lot of fat in it. And also I don't deep fry that chicken, I just throw it in the oven. Sometimes I'll coat it in a bit of oil, and hence that is what my meals typically look like. I hope I have pictures of some of my meals because I used to take pictures. And increasing my water intake, fiber. Tip number 3, watch your fiber. Hey, reason why I say watch your fiber is that as you grow older, your body is not, your metabolism slows down. So I am approaching my 30s. Scary. So as you get older, you know, because also like when it comes to weight loss, it also really, your age plays a big role. So as you approaching 30, if you're over 25, your metabolism has probably slowed down and you've probably noticed that you've gained weight. So increasing fiber helps to move the bowels. So you really need to pay attention to your body. You have to ask yourself, am I moving my bowels? Once a week is not good. Twice a week is really bad. I think ideally you want to move your bowels at least once every single day. Some people even say once every single day is not enough, but I don't know, maybe it has to do with how much you eat as a person, because I've never really had issues with portions. I can always control my portions. Like, people that know me, I have, my lunchbox is this small. I don't really eat a lot. My problem is, you know, sweet things. So tip number 3, increase the fiber. I would say please make sure that you're taking in your fiber, that because when you take in fiber, your bowels move. How do I do this? I used to eat, so I love cereal. In the mornings I typically have cereal. So you might be wondering, if you don't eat bread, what do you eat? I love cereal. So in the morning usually it's muesli with plain yogurt, and then I'll add fruits. If it's not muesli with plain yogurt, it will be bran flakes. Now I think bran flakes are really amazing. I can't say if they are healthy or not, but I can say whenever I eat bran flakes, my bowels will move. The bowls will move, they will do the thing. And that's what you want, because when your bowls are not moving, it means your metabolism is slow. Drinking water, so fiber, including the water, will really help to move your bowls and really speed up your metabolism, which will then help you to stop, you know, weight gain. Because the biggest issue I remember having, I was like, I don't think my body is like bad besides my belly, but why do I keep gaining weight, and when is this gonna stop? So that was the scary part for me. I was like, even if I just stop gaining weight, I'll be so happy. But I actually managed to lose weight as well. So that's hence I'm making this video, because I really hope that it also helps someone who might be in the same situation as me. Tip number 4, the other biggest change I made, like I did mention a few times already, that I have a weakness for sweet things. So I had to go cold turkey with sugar, and it didn't help because what made my situation worse when it comes to sugar is that I love tea. I drink tea every single day. In the morning, I'll typically have a cup of tea, and then at 10 a.m., I'll have another cup of rooibos. In the evening, if it's winter, I'll usually have another cup of tea before I go to bed. I don't know, tea is very soothing for me, so I'm a big tea lover. So I used to put 3 teaspoons of sugar, and then I went down to 2 teaspoons of sugar. Now I am down to 1 teaspoon of sugar, and you can tell the difference. Not only am I down to 1 teaspoon of sugar, I now use honey instead of sugar. So, and also with the honey, it's literally just 1 teaspoon, guys, because honey is still a source of sugar. It's still sweet. It still has calories. It's not calorie free. It's just a healthier option. So yeah, and I think that has made a big difference, because you also see that in order to align your goals with in order to align your diet goals well, you also need to change your shopping habits. I don't even know when last I bought a 2 kg of brown sugar. The one I have right now is still there, and I think it's been there for like a good 4 to 5 months. So that tells you already that I've cut back on sugar significantly. I think the most dangerous sugar is the one you're adding to things. Like, I would sometimes add sugar to cereal that already has sugar. I do add like a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar to my bran flakes, however, because I feel like bran flakes don't really have a lot of taste, but that's just me. Muesli, I only do plain yogurt. I rarely not do the plain yogurt. Sometimes I will go for the Lance with blueberry yogurt, but I mostly go for the plain yogurt. I don't even add honey to it. I think sometimes you have to force yourself. So with sugar, obviously going from 4 teaspoons to 3 teaspoons is really hard. For people that put a lot of sugar in their tea, they'll be able to tell the difference. But I can tell you, if you force yourself and you keep at it, you actually realize that 1 teaspoon of sugar you've added to your tea, you can taste it. You'll get to a point where you are actually now able to taste it. And the nice thing about cutting on sugar is that once you cut back on sugar, you realize how certain snacks or sweets we like actually have way too much sugar, and you become sort of very sensitive to sugar. And that's what you want to achieve. You want to be sensitive to sugar. And because with sugar, the problem with sugar is that once you are at 4 teaspoons of sugar in your 1 cup of tea, it wouldn't be shocking if in the next 5 years you are like at 6 teaspoons of sugar, because you become less sensitive to it. But if you really force yourself to somewhat go cold turkey with it, you end up realizing that, no man, this is really sweet stuff. So slow down on the sugar, guys. Like, and it's so scary, the amount of sugar that is just in our diet, from juices, cold drinks. I'm not perfect. I still drink juice and cold drink, but I think just being aware really helps. Then the last tip, which I feel is the big elephant in the room, is exercise. Obviously, add a component of exercise, you guys. Like, I think what really pushed my weight loss, to be very honest, the one where I was 76 down from 81, because I remember like this year around, I think April, I was 78, and I was so happy to see that it's starting with a 7 and not an 8 anymore. And then like 6 weeks ago I was 76. So I'm not perfect with this, but I am trying to make sure that I'm hiking a little more regularly. So this basically means walking, and I keep seeing videos where they say that walking actually burns more fat than running, and I'm tending to agree with them, and hence I've left the exercise part of this tip for last, because I feel like it's not necessarily crucial for weight loss. It's very healthy for your body. It's very healthy to move your body. Moving your body, exercise has been proven to even lower your risk of dread disease, but it's not necessarily crucial for weight loss. Weight loss, you want to see that scale go down, work on your diet. Walking would definitely help, but doing exercise when you are not changing your diet is really it's like you're doing it in vain almost. Maybe it can help you to stop weight gain, but I remember before I changed my diet, I used to go on this let me jog. I never lost weight. I know bodies are different, but I personally never lost weight from it. But once I changed that diet, once I changed what's coming into my mouth, that's when I started to see results. Exercising is amazing. I'm not saying do not exercise. Please exercise. I think if you combine exercise plus change of diet, it really does wonders. But I will have to stress that for me, exercising without changing the diet didn't work for me, and it was like I was just doing it all for vibes. I really hope that my tips have helped you. If you have other questions or other things you want me to talk about, dive deeper into, I can always bring out another video in episode 2. Yeah, and I feel like, to be honest, it's not easy, and I feel like I got a little excited when I saw the weight loss, and I kind of fell off the wagon, but I'll be right back at it. What matters is that I have actually done something and I know it can work. Because I was at a point where I was so depressed. I was like, is there something wrong with me? Why can I not lose weight? Why do I keep gaining? But when I realized that rice, bread, those things are the devil, guys. Pasta, stay away. Like, I'm not saying cut it out completely, but those things are so bad. And sometimes the portions people will eat, you'll see someone eating a whole lunchbox full of rice, and I'm just like, my gluten intolerance could never, my diet could never, my health could never. And they're also so bad for your health because they cause inflammation to the body. When you have inflammation to the body, you've got a whole lot of other problems going on, and you're putting yourself at risk. I love you for watching. Stay well, stay healthy, watch what you eat, and I'll see you in my next one.